Hello and welcome back. So today we are going to talk about adding same sign numbers. Numbers in this can also be called integers. So up here I'm going to write integers. Integers are just positive or negative whole numbers, okay? So we're specifically talking about whole numbers today. All right, if we look down here at our learning target, it says I can add numbers with the same signs. So with the same signs, what does signs mean? Signs means we are referring to positive and negative numbers. So positive and negative numbers, and you will notice that each letter has its own individual line there. And the reason why is so that for most of these, you will know exactly how many letters are in a word. Okay? So, the very first example I'm going to show you is using counters. On these notes, something I want to point out to you is when you're looking at these notes, if you're unsure which video you need to watch, I will link all of the videos, of course, but if you're unsure which video you need to watch for that section, it will tell you which videos right there. Boom. That's the video you need to watch for this, okay? So adding whole numbers, same sign, okay? All right, here we go. Using counters, 6 plus 5. I bet off the top of your head you're like, I know what that is. 6 plus 5, I can do it. All right, but before you do it off the top of your head, remember, we're supposed to be using counters. And yes, I know most of you can do 6 plus 5 on the top of your head, and that is amazing, and I love it. And I hate telling people like, oh, you have to do it a specific way, but there is a reason for it, and you will see shortly the reason for it this time, okay? So 6 plus 5, we're going to do 6 counters. And these are both positive numbers, so I'm just going to write down here, I'm going to let myself know that purple counters are positive. So first I'm going to draw 6 purple counters. And I'm going to use circles this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I'm going to do 5 more counters underneath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now I can add them together. And if I count them all, I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yep, we all probably guessed that. If you didn't, now you can. So 11 is our answer for 6 plus 5. And we're going to make sure we circle that because we should always circle our answers. And then if we look at this other problem, we have -4 plus -7. So this time we're going to use orange. And we're going to still use counters. But do counters have to be circles? Like, what if I wanted to use stars? Or smiley faces? Or squares, or rectangles, or diamonds, or I don't know, maybe I'm a super amazing artist and I want to draw like a really complicated picture. I mean, I don't know if I want to draw -4 and -7 really complicated pictures, but I could, right? So here is my little trick that I personally like to do. If I'm using negatives, I just like to use minus signs. So I'm going to use 4 minus signs. And then I'm going to use 7 more minus signs. And now if I add these 2 lines of minus signs together, how many minus signs do I have altogether? Well, I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, and then 9, 10, 11. So I have 11 minus signs. So -4 plus -7 is -11. Okay? Then we're going to look down here where it says using absolute value. Using absolute value. All right. So let's look at the definition here. We have to fill in these answers. So absolute value is the blank away from blank on a number line. The blank from 0 does not matter. Huh. Well, why don't you take a second and try and fill those in. Go ahead and pause the video and try to fill those in. Okay, so here's the correct answer. Absolute value is the distance away from 0 on the number line. The direction from 0 does not matter. What this means is, however far your number is away from 0 on the number line, whether it is 5 or -5, if you count those, they're both 5 numbers away from 0. So they are both the same distance away from 0. So they are the same amount of measurement, okay? So absolute value cannot be negative. So let's try and solve this problem using absolute value. So step 1 tells us to find the absolute values of both of these numbers. So we take absolute value of -22. So -22 is how many numbers away from 0. If we were to count from 0 to 22, how many numbers is that away? It is exactly 22 numbers away from 0. And then we need to find the absolute value of -26. So how many numbers away from 0 is -26? Just 26. Step 2 says to find the sum. Find the sum. What does sum mean? Sum means to add. So we're going to take these two numbers. We're going to find the two numbers that were absolute values. So remember, those absolute values are the numbers that we found in step 1. Okay? So we're going to take 22 plus 26 to get our answer. Well, 22 plus 26 is what? Take a second and think about it. You should get 48. And then our very last instruction says, use the sign of the numbers for the answer. What this means is use the sign of the original numbers. So both of the original numbers were negative, right? Inside of those absolute values, they were both negative. So we're going to use that negative, and we're just going to put it right in front of the answer that we got. Okay? That is our answer. -48. So -22 minus 26 is -48. All right? I want you to go ahead and try these last 3 problems all on your own. So go ahead and pause the video here and give it a try. All right, hopefully you tried those out. Here are your answers. If you got them, fantastic. If you did not, go ahead, go back through your notes and see if you can figure out how to get these answers. Maybe you could ask a neighbor. If you're still really stumped, come find me and I can help you out. That's it for today. Until next time, have a good one.